Listen, I'm just excited to see you, to see your face. This is going to be amazing. Y'all, I'm Yoko with Girlfriends Unfiltered, and we have with us today author Unique. Um, she's written over close 33 books. Her favorite genre to write is urban romance. She likes to go to the gym, and yeah, she's been writing for about 5.5 years. And I'm excited to be talking to her about the Atlanta Demon series. So for all of y'all football fans, we finna book talk, okay? Get your pens ready. We also are going to allow go through her catalog. So she'll be talking about other books as well.
Okay.
But this series has just stolen my heart, as it has other people I know that will be watching, and so that's why we are definitely going to delve on into the Atlanta Demon series. You ready, sis?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I see you can see Shar said, "Hey, my favorite
I see.
girl."
Hey, Faye.
Um, So let's get going. Y'all, I wanted to make sure before I get started that this interview will be posted on Girlfriends Unfiltered Interviews on YouTube, as well as here on this platform on the IG. Okay. So first question, and I ask it's always the first question, and it is: when did you fall in love with writing Black romance stories?
It was probably when I started back reading, which was probably like in 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read when I was little. I got my love for reading from my mom, and I had gotten away from it for years. And I don't know how. I think I had went to Vegas, and I was on the plane coming back, and I was like, I'm gonna read a book. So I downloaded the Kindle Unlimited app,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember what book, who the author was that I read first, but on that flight back from Vegas, I read a book, and when I got home, I was like, oh, okay, like that was fun. Let me do it again.
Uh-huh.
So I read another one, and then I kept reading, and I was like, you know what? I slid in an author's inbox about a book that she had wrote to talk about a book that she had wrote, and then I started test reading for her, and I was just like, if I can be someone's test reader, I can write my own book.
Really?
So I'm going to write my own book,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I did. It took
Wow.
me 3 years to finish my first book.
Mm-hmm.
But when I finished it, I prayed about it and I asked God, like, if this is for me, like, show me that it's for me. I wrote my first book. I got really good reception from readers from it. My first book, I think I charted like number 7.
Really? What was the name of your first book?
That's the Way Love Goes, part 1.
Okay.
Like it dropped. I hit like number 7 on the charts. I prayed about it. Asked him if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, tell me. I dropped book number 2. It charted lower than that. Book 3 did, and I was like, you know what? I guess this is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
And I've been here 5.5 years.
And has it been how would you say this ride has been for you?
It's been up and down.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely has its ups and it has its downs, but I'm grateful. I'm thankful because I'm actually doing something that I enjoy doing. And
Okay.
and I'm having fun doing it. And that was my thing. Like I have to be able to love it and I have to have fun while I'm doing it, or I'm not gonna want to stick with it. And
Right.
so I'm enjoying the ride. It's fun.
What did you have any formal training in writing?
No,
No, you just I love when I hear people say that because I'm just like, ooh,
no.
child. I wish Yoka could just pick a pen and just be like, let me write
And
this stuff.
I've always told people that I'm not a creative person. They're like, you have to be, you write books. I'm like, no, literally, like, I'm not a creative person. Like, I've been in pharmaceuticals for years. Like, that's what I do. Like, that's my job or whatever.
Mhm.
But I did. I said I was gonna do it. I did it, and I mean, I apparently I do it really good. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I would say
Apparently I do it good, so it works. But
what
no,
do you
I
what do you think the connection is to your stories, since you feel like you don't have that creative ability. So, what is it that connects you to being able to write a book?
I think it's because like what I write is like real life. It's like issues that people go through every day. Like some of the things that I write about are some of the things that I've experienced in my relationships. So I'm that's how I'm able to connect and make it work because it's real life issues. Like it's fiction, but these are situations that happens every single day
Why urban romance? Why did you choose that genre to write?
because that's what I enjoy. So I write the stories that I like to read or that I want to read. So that's why it's urban romance. But that's all I know. I can't do anything else, you know?
Hmm.
I had to
Okay.
do what made sense for me.
Hmm. You do you think you could pull off like just a straight women's fiction, or are you always gonna have that urban twist?
The closest that I've gotten to women's fiction was One Good Reason. But even with that, it still kind of had that urban twist.
Okay, so I want to talk a little about because you keep mentioning you're mentioning urban, and we also talk about urban. So
Hmm.
urban is very looks very different depending on where you live.
Hmm.
Okay, so I live in LA. The urban looks different. When I lived
Hmm.
in Pasadena, the urban looked different.
Hmm.
Um, I remember going from visiting some friends in Chicago once when I was like 17, and
Hmm.
I was like, whoa, this is different.
Right.
So, what version of urban are you wanting us to receive from what you're writing?
I don't I grew up in the country. I'm
Hmm.
from a small town in Mississippi.
Really?
But majority of my books are well, my books are based in Atlanta because my mom moved to Atlanta after Katrina. So what I have seen as far as like urban is what I've witnessed in Atlanta. Like I used to work in the hood. I used to work in the ghetto. Like
Uh-huh.
I've so that's my version of urban is what I got
Okay.
from my experience in Atlanta. Because again, I grew up in a small town in Columbia.
Right.
I'm
Right.
from the country. But I tell
Columbia,
people
Mississippi.
all the Columbia, Mississippi.
I went to high school, off the subject. I went to high school in Mississippi, but anyway,
Where at?
I went to Piney Woods.
You went to Piney Woods?
I went to Piney Woods.
You know what? That is so random. Really?
I just had to share that. Like, I love that school to my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is so random. Like, yeah, that's random. Like it's odd. That's funny.
Okay, let's get back for y'all who don't know. Pineywood is the oldest black boarding school in the United States. It's the only one still standing. At
Hmm.
least everybody who graduated with me are like CEOs and bosses. People
Hmm.
used to think that you had to get sent to the school because you have behavioral
Because you
problems,
have
but no,
behavior
our
issues,
parents
right?
used to have to break it off for us to go
Hmm.
there. And so anyhow, I just
Uh-huh.
had to push my high
That is
school.
very random, though. I love that. Yeah, I love
Yep,
that.
yep, yep. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So your urban would be Atlanta urban.
Atlanta. Hmm.
Okay. All
So
right.
a lot of my books are that's why my books are full of Atlanta slang because what I know about the hood came from me being in Atlanta, working in Atlanta, living in Atlanta.
And so that's obviously why we got the Atlanta
That's
Demons.
why we got the Atlanta demons. Hmm.
Um, do you do any type of research for your books?
Some I had to research the football stuff. I
Okay.
had to heavily research the football stuff because I'm not a football person. I'm not a,
Uh-huh.
my we grew up playing baseball or whatever, so I'm not a football person. So I had to do a lot of research for that, or like ask, my male friends or my brothers or something like that.
Hmm.
But
Why not baseball?
I just, I don't, I don't know. I don't know why I chose football over baseball. I don't know. Football is more interesting, I think,
Isn't
and
it?
plus, yes, and plus I sports bet. Well, I did, and I was betting, for football.
Hmm.
So
Uh-huh.
when I decided to do the Demons, like that was part of the reason why I decided because I was heavy into sports betting at the time.
Okay. There's actually a book out about that right now.
Sports betting, and them
And that was my first time really understanding it.
man, them
Gabrielle Union
parlays
just
used
dropped a
to
football book
them
about football
parlays
and
used to
betting.
hit. Mhm. No parlays. You see, I used to make some good money betting on football.
Listen. Okay, so that's pretty much the only research. So let's talk
Mhm.
about things. I'm gonna jump in early.
Okay.
Um, I do a lot of reading of reviews and all of and there was a review that I read and I thought it was
Mhm.
interesting and I was wanted to make sure that I processed it. So I was kind of been processing it all day today on how to address this.
Okay.
Um, the review said something along the lines of, I can't believe I didn't find this to be realistic
Mm-hmm.
because our 42-year-olds still getting drunk in clubs and getting busy in bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't think that's real. And I started cracking up laughing. And I'm like, I don't know what age that person is. I'm like, but sis, you must don't roll with my group because I go to jazz festivals. So I'm saying all of this to ask, when you're writing your books, are you targeting a certain age group?
No.
No. So you just so that I don't. I'm gonna just make a broad assumption that the
Mm-hmm.
person who wrote that review probably was parent probably was 42. So that's probably why they was feeling
I
like
mean,
they couldn't
or
imagine their parent getting busy in the club
or they
bathroom.
were 42 themselves and they just live a very mundane life. I mean, because I'm 38 and this past weekend was my 20th class reunion and I was literally drunk as hell. Like,
And living your best life.
and live, that's what I'm saying. So, like, what's wrong with getting drunk in the club at 42? Like, especially if you're someone who, started having kids early, you got in your career early, like your kids are growing up, your kids are out of the house, and like you're discovering yourself as a empty nester, like, and you're living life. Like, there is nothing wrong with.
I started laughing. I was like, baby, 42? 42 is way back in my rearview mirror.
I feel like you
And
in
when,
your prime.
and when we go, and when I go out with my single girlfriends, woo, sometimes I'll just sit up in the room. We'll vacations. I'll just sit and I'm gonna stay and look off the balcony.
Hello. I mean, like, there is no
Yeah,
age limit on fun.
girl, you really can. Okay,
Exactly.
so that just opens the door into us talking about. Let's get into talking about the Atlanta Dating
Okay.
series because
Mhm.
um, what was the seed for this story? Because the story really shows different versions of love in the different
Mhm.
stories. So you have book one,
Mhm.
which is Fair Trade. That's Drew and Dreams. There was a
Mhm.
little more trauma kind of stuff discussed in that book.
Mhm.
Then there was Defying the Rules. That's Deuce and Koya. Then there's Deuce and Koya's Wedding, which was three. And
Mhm.
then, of course, Out of Bounds, which is, I called it a ground and sexy. And I think I don't know, like I want to say seasoned people, but maybe not, can really
Mhm.
connect. If you haven't been through a situation similar to that, you definitely know somebody who has been in a
Right.
situation similar to that. And so why did you choose? What was the C for the overall story? I guess
For
that's the
for
first
for
part.
the for the whole series.
Yeah, like did you know it was going to be a series?
So yes, I
Okay.
plan for it to be. I'm looking at my calendar. I only plan for it to be 3 books to
Mhm.
begin with. Not my calendar, my notes. I only plan for it to be 3 books to begin with. I always knew that. Um, Drew and Dream was going to be a thing. I always knew that Dollar and Messiah was going to be a thing. What I didn't know was how Deuce's story was going to play out. I
Mhm.
didn't. So when I first thought about it, because back when I came up with it, there weren't many sports romance series out.
Okay.
And so I wanted to do something different than what I had been doing. And
Mhm.
so, like I said, I Drew and Dream story came to me in my sleep. I literally woke up and I jotted it down and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it a series. I came up with the titles and I was like, I'm gonna make it a series. I knew what their story like what their story was gonna entail. I knew exactly how I wanted it to play out. I knew I wanted both of them to have some type of family drama going on and her to have like some issues with dating professional athletes. Like I knew how that was going to go.
Mhm.
I always knew what Masai and Dollar's story was going to be because in Fair Trade, they were too perfect. They were perfect. And like when you're in that world, there's always some type of drama. There's always some type of scandal, whether
Right.
it be true or not. Like there's always something. So I knew what their story was going to be. Deuces, I had no idea
Hmm.
what it was going to be until I actually got to the end of Drew and Dream's book.
Are
And that
you
was just my mind
uh
like working, and that's how I came up with that.
so do you outline
I
as
don't.
an author? You don't outline, you just go with the flow.
I
Wake
go
up. Are you
off the top
assigning
of my
love
head.
languages? Do you know what type of love that they're going to be able to express that you're able to put on the pages?
I don't until I'm deep off in it. Like when I say I don't outline anything, I don't write. Like if a storyline comes to me, I can hear a song or I can be watching a movie and somebody will say something, or I have everyday conversation and somebody will
Mhm.
say something. And I'm like, ooh, I can come up with a good story from that. So I'll jot it down. If I'm asleep and something comes in my sleep, like I have a dream about it, I'll jot it down. But I don't know. My process is literally I'm going off the top of my head when I write. I can't write anything down because if I try to outline a story, it does not turn out the way that I envisioned it to turn out. So
Mhm.
I learned early on to not put anything down, just go off the top of my head.
How did you learn flow structuring? Like, to make sure the flow is done correctly, structuring it right. Do you use an editor, or how does that
So
work for you?
yes, I do. I use test readers.
Hmm.
And after I finish writing, like I write like 12,000 words a day. After I finish writing, I send it to my test readers and I'm like, read this and let me know if it's flowing. If it's not flowing, then I'll go back and I'll change something. And then my editor, that's like part of the things that I pay her for. Like she reads it to make sure that it's flowing together. And if it's
Uh-huh.
not, if I need to change anything. But I trust myself more than I trust anybody else. So like
Hmm.
when I'm writing, I read my work like all the time.
Shar says you write a full book in 3 business days.
It does not. Maybe about
Listen, I'm
maybe
like,
4 or 5, but yes, I
did you
do.
did you say 4 or 5? Oh,
So
not
when
three, but four.
I only write on Saturdays and Sundays and I write 12,000 words each day. So if I'm doing a 48K book, I can knock it out in like 4.5 days.
So, but those characters are popping in your head
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How are you saving all of that?
I
Or
got
are you
no.
taking notes or talk texting it, or what are you doing?
I'm jotting it down in my notes. I have my notes is full of dialogue. And even if I'm not, if even if it's coming in my head for the story that I'm working on,
Uh-huh.
if it doesn't flow when I start writing it, I won't use it for that. And it'll come up and it'll be like, oh well, I said this, I can use
Hmm.
this for another
Hmm.
book. But it's all in my notes.
Wow. Let me tell you, some people just have a natural talent. Because I just want to talk about Out of Bounds, but I know we got to talk about everything. I hate to just take up this interview for everybody else watching, but that indeed, I fell in love with that
Right.
story. So, because I can connect to it, right?
Mhm.
Maybe because that story seems so real to me that I felt like I was like sitting on an edge. So let me just tell you
Mhm.
some of the things people said about it, okay?
Okay.
Um, I do need my glasses. Oh, let's get glasses on today. um, Let me make sure I have the right one.
Shar said I'm a machine. Listen, I'm
Yes, she
not.
did say that.
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
just I'm
okay.
focused. I'm focused.
Um, okay, so these are just a few things because it's fairly new, and I was really sticking to that. Just a few things that people have said.
Mhm.
Um, it was a great read. It was an emotional roller coaster that
Mhm.
Unique delivered with Out of Bounds. The true meaning of love. I loved it because it felt so real. Love is powerful. um had me on my toes. Listen, it had me in my feelings. It had me on my toes. I was like, just it took me to a different place. I turned the
Mhm.
pages. I'm like reading it for a second time now. And again, I understand people can connect to some things and people just don't connect.
Yes. Mhm.
But I just wondered, like when you were writing your target, did you have a target audience? I may have asked you that, but did you have a target audience? Like You didn't think like it would feel better. That's interesting though. I like that. I
I
like
just
that.
I
That
just wrote.
takes just wrote.
Mhm.
Um, let's talk a little bit about how did you feel because Atlanta, you dropped the book, and
Mhm.
then I think it was the next day you got your first book was released on Audible
Yes.
book.
Yes.
Did you listen to it?
I haven't yet. I haven't yet because I've just since it drops, like I've just
Mm-hmm.
had so much stuff going on. So I haven't had the chance to listen to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in the making since this time last year. It
Okay.
took a long time because we were back and forth with the narrator selection or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't have a literary agent, so it just doesn't move that fast for, when you're doing it on your own. But I haven't had the chance to sit down and listen to it yet. I'm
Okay.
nervous. I
I
listened
haven't
to
either,
samples,
but you got some good narrators.
but yeah, I listen. That process was so because everybody the males that they chose, it's when they were reading it just sounded forced. Like
Mm-hmm.
I needed Drew's voice to come off authentic, like the way I wrote it. And
Mm-hmm.
the first few ones that they sent me, it just sounded so forced. And I was like, yeah, I don't like that. So when they sent this last guy, I was like, oh yeah.
Who is it
Oh
again?
uh
I
I
can't.
don't even want to go out. Is it James Winston? I think.
Yeah, Winston James.
Winston James, that yeah,
Uh,
that's him. But when I heard his voice, I was like, yeah, I didn't even have to finish this. So I was like, yeah, I want him. Let's get him.
so I listen to audibles. I know Shar, like some of us are
Hmm.
like audible, thousands
Hmm.
of audibles that we've purchased. Like
Hmm.
it's that deep. Did you ask any of the audible readers
Hmm.
for input on your selection?
No.
You did it. Okay.
Mm-mm. I just went based off of what sounded good from the samples that they recorded and sent. That was my main thing. I just needed because I didn't want them to change my slang, like the way I talk, like the way my
Mhm.
character's voice. I didn't want that to change. So
Okay.
if they sent me somebody and it just didn't sound good to me, I was like, yeah, no.
How was the experience like for the female?
It was actually good.
Yeah.
The one that I chose,
Hmm.
they sent me somebody at first, and hers, she sounded a little too preppy,
Hmm.
and that was another thing. Like I needed like a somebody who got some sass, some soul or something. Like you can't come off and you talking all preppy and speaking proper English. No, I didn't want that.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
one that the second one, I actually that one only had to go through 2 rounds of that one, and the lady I chose, she was perfect for it. Shut up, Shaw. You know what I'm trying to say.
He said preppy.
You
See,
get what I'm trying to say. Like
I get it. Like I
yeah.
normally I can listen to automations read to me
Hmm.
if it's a good story, right? Because
Hmm.
I drive a lot, I'm on the road, so that's an option for me. So I really look forward to. So I usually get like 3 reads out of a book
Hmm.
because if I like it, I still the narrators to me really bring them to life. And I won't say I'm a snob, but I just think like I always say maybe listen to a book that they have done to make sure that
Hmm.
that matches a voice that you want to, So I'm glad you listened to the samples.
Because
And I'm
you
gonna let you
can't be
know if you
too
pick the right
animated.
one. Huh?
Like I that you could like some people are too they're overly animated and that would annoy me
Hmm.
listening to it. So I wouldn't dare put anybody else through that. So it was really like, yeah, no, like but I would if she wouldn't have worked out, I'd have did the same thing. Like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to
Hmm.
try somebody else. I don't like and it's nothing against the narrators, it's just for my work, I just wanted it to sound a
Hmm.
certain way.
Well, it's just like, well, narrators are actors,
Yeah,
right? My daughter's an actress. She's been for every role is not for her.
right,
She goes on hundreds. Used to when she was younger, go on hundreds of auditions.
right,
They go through a lot to make sure they picked her, and it's okay. That's your
mhm,
art, right? Because
right.
you figure Ava DuVernay, she imagine how many people she interviews before they get that role
Hmm. Yeah.
auditions, and that's your art. And so I think it's authors should really respect that. Did you feel any pressure from the readers to get that onto Audible?
No.
Okay.
Not like none. No, but as a matter of fact, it was because the process took so long. Like I didn't
Mhm.
announce it for a while, but it was after I dropped Fair Trade, they actually reached out and told me that they wanted to put it on Audible, and I was like, "Oh, really now?" I felt like, And she was like, because that was the first one that was out. It hadn't even been out a month when they reached out, and she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I want if you have any more planned, I'll take those as well."
Mhm.
And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. At first, I thought it was a scam. People were trying to scam you every day. I thought it was a scam. So I'm reaching out to other authors who's went through this company, like, is this
Is this
legit or
person
whatever?
legit? Right.
Yeah, I even had an attorney look over the contract and everything. I was just trying to
I was
like
gonna
make sure.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I had
That's so
I
important.
mean, yeah, and they was like, ask a question about this, and I'm trying to understand like the verbiage in this, like, So I
Yeah.
did all of that because I was really like, it was just odd
Uh-huh.
that, I had gotten that offer. I was really shocked.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you did that because I that was a question I was gonna ask you, but then I was like, maybe I don't want to ask because
Hmm.
I always say that I think it's so important for in this community. So I'm about to get a little deeper. So
Hmm.
I think it's really important in this community that we have advocates
Hmm.
because it's so new and there's so many people that are coming into it who've never, written, or some people who maybe truly just trying to put food on the table and they're hungry and they want it. Kind of like you hear it when you hear them talk about TLC story and different entertainers that came in and they got bad deals.
Right.
How are you making sure that you are getting you're an indie author. How are you making sure that you are getting what you deserve in this industry right now?
I don't put my name on anything without getting everything checked. Like I'm so scared of being scammed.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't subscribe to certain stuff. It's just certain stuff I'm just not willing to do. And everything that I do or everything that my name is attached to, it has to be done with integrity. Like I'm just not one of those people who's just going to do something for the play, especially not when
Right.
it comes to my work, because I've seen several times where, people have gotten screwed over business wise, and that's not going to be my story because I'm gonna always take the
Mm-hmm.
legal route before I put my name on anything. I just call me scary, but
Well, I don't
that's
think it's scary. I
I
think it's
just
important to be aware as an artist and to
yes.
protect your art, how important it is, and to keep your art more than thing authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Black love
Mm-hmm.
looks different for everyone,
For
right?
everybody.
Um, why do you think it's important to keep Black love stories authentically Black?
Because for years I've heard that, people don't read urban fiction or urban romance because it's trauma, it's
Right.
struggle love. And I hate that it has that negative connotation because I just feel like everybody goes through things.
Mm-hmm.
Black, white, mixed, everybody goes through things.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's so important to show that we, as Black people, as Black women, deserve the love that we desire. Black
Mm-hmm.
love is so important to me because I love love. I'm a relationship type of person. Regardless of what the journey looks like to get to that final
Mm-hmm.
destination,
Talk
I
about
just
it.
feel I just feel like, it's something that we're deserving of. I love it. I'm Black. It's always going to be Black love for me. I'm always going to write about Black love. I don't care if my character has to go through 60 million men. At the end of the day, she is going to get her happily ever after because she is going to get the love that she desires.
I love that.
That's just what it
I
is.
just because HEAs can look different for everyone,
It can. It definitely
because the
can.
HEA could be he just wasn't no good. I had to let him go.
Drew and Dream didn't get a happily ever after. They got a happy for now, but
That's and
they're
that's the
together.
question that was coming next. What's up with that? Because she seemed like she ready to step back out.
They're gonna get another book.
Okay,
Yes, they're gonna get another book. It's it's going to be called False Start.
okay. That will work because fall starting football. That's perfect.
They're gonna, yeah, all these titles, with all the titles for this book, this series,
Okay.
they're football related. But
Uh-huh.
they're gonna get another book because as I was writing their story, I realized that Drew and Dream are still young. They still have a lot of growing to do individually and as a couple.
Mhm.
And I feel like Dream definitely had more. She had a even longer journey than Drew had. So they're gonna get another book. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I'm gonna close the series out with them. I think that's how I got it planned. They're gonna close it out. Now, will they get a happy ever after at the end of this book? I don't know because I'm not writing it yet. But what the way it's playing out in my mind is there is going to be it's gonna be some shit. Sorry.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, I'm feeling her. I'm looking forward to it. So, a lot of new readers. You've been in
Mm-hmm.
this industry for 5 years. I know I have seen so many new readers come into this community. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's absolutely beautiful. Sometimes I use the word oversaturation and then I pull that back because no, it's not oversaturated. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. Oversaturation for us because we're not used to it, but it's supposed to be tons of people reading, tons of people writing, tons of people interviewing. Like, this is our space. The
Right.
more people we can reach, the better, because that just means more people are learning about different versions of love.
Mm-hmm.
The question is regarding new readers. Do you feel you need to tilt or lean into the, I don't want to say mess, but into the what's going on? The
No,
social, the social commentary, the you how can you talk about that?
no, I don't.
You don't.
Coming into this industry, I was taught that, you got to protect your brand. There is so because there are so many new readers, there is always every day it's something in this industry.
Yeah.
I don't feed into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feed into it. And that's for my own peace of mind because like if as for someone who isn't as strong-willed as I am, buying in and feeding into that stuff will deter them from doing something that they want to do or writing something that they want to write about. And for me, I'm sorry, I just don't care enough. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't.
Um, I think, well, I know that this is in all industries.
Hmm.
And I think it lands different for us because we're deeply involved into this industry.
Hmm.
Um, I know it's in the sports industry. I
Hmm.
know that for a fact. I know music industry.
Hmm.
I can remember from when gangster rap started and how it transitions and the beefs and this and that.
Hmm.
The difference is that those beefs stayed within. So if there's something going on within the two teams, like it kind of like stays there.
Hmm.
Even though you can look on social media what people are saying, the difference is access.
Hmm.
How do you feel about all of the access that is being given to you and all the others out there? Because I may not, I wish I love her some, but I'm gonna use her as an example. I may
Hmm.
not like Sanaa Lathan, and I may not like a movie, but and I can type about it. Sanaa Lathan is not even gonna respond to me. Like,
Hmm.
you know, do you think that by you guys giving access and
Hmm.
responding to these things, that's creating, it could be two things. Is it creating what's not good, and
Hmm.
is it creating more good by bringing more people in because drama brings more people?
It a little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I say it like this. Like you said, number one, I've always felt like we were too accessible. And that's my biggest issue with this industry is being too accessible. But it's like you kind of have to make yourself accessible because
Hmm.
with the way it is nowadays, if your lack of social media presence, it's easy
Mm-hmm.
to be forgotten about. Now, if you had started, for the ones who start out and they never had a social media presence, it works for them because you can't expect something that they weren't giving in the beginning.
Hmm.
For me, I've been on social media. I interact with my readers. So for me to just like go ghost all of a sudden, I'll easily be forgotten about.
Okay.
With that
Okay.
being said, I see the commentary. I see it. I read it. I read the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to not respond, number one, because I don't have a stopping point.
Hmm.
So if somebody says something that I don't like or that I don't agree with and I comment,
Mm-hmm.
I can either be professional unique or I can be that not so professional person.
Right.
And my brand means more to me than all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So I see it. I just choose not to respond because me not responding is me protecting my brand.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't do that. Some people will go back and forth. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody because if
Straight
I
down.
put out something,
Uh-huh.
I stand by what
Then
I put out.
yes, yes. And that's my thing. And that's what I feel like just like I said, whether it be music or if we
Hmm.
just can create a beautiful mural on a wall
Hmm.
that someone didn't like that mural on the wall. It's your art. And that's what I appreciated. So when you think about all of these stories, do you look at it like that? Like it's an art?
Hmm. And
Okay.
I'm sensitive about my shit. But
I love it.
I again, when I came into this industry, my main
Mhm.
thing was staying true to myself,
Yeah.
putting out books that I would want to read. I'm not going to put out something that I don't think I gave my best on. I'm not going to put out something that I wouldn't want to read myself. So if I publish it and it's on Amazon, then at that point, you can't tell me it wasn't damn good. It's out there. I don't, you can feel how you want to feel. You can say that you don't like it. That's your opinion. Your opinion is valid. You don't have to like it. But for every one person that don't, I promise you there's 10 others that do. And at the end of the
That's right.
day, you read it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love
Well,
it.
I love everything that you're saying because it sometimes it just needs to be said.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, it's a lot of new readers, and so I think that's why I think I just wanted to address that today because I kind of skim through and see things, and I just kind of just read every all books, but if
Mhm.
usually for me, if I see someone caught up in something for whatever reason, I find it hard for me then to connect to their book.
Exactly.
And so I'm always mindful, like, oh, don't say anything. Oh, just think like you're like Michael Jackson. They can't touch you. Like they're just out in the world. Okay, so let me go on. I wanted to talk about series
Okay.
because you have written multiple series,
I
right?
have. Hmm.
Um, where do you think the benefit is in writing a series?
You
Or is it beneficial?
For me, yes, because my very first project was a series. So I
Uh-huh.
kind of think you know, people are always asking for more. They
Uh-huh.
always want more.
Hmm.
And it's the way I write, like my side characters, I make people fall in love with my side characters. So I can't just cut anything off and just be like, oh, it's one and done because somebody's always going to want more. So
Right.
I just feel like for me, it's beneficial because it just gives me something to continue to write about. I like standalones. I will make a series of interconnecting standalones before I make a part one to part two again. I did that with my first series. I can't do that anymore. When it's time to write part two, my mind checks out.
Do you see that have you seen with like again new readers that they're waiting for you to complete series before they come in?
Yeah, a lot of people say that they wait. They don't like to read unfinished books. Like they don't like to be continued or whatever. And to each his own. Like, I understand that because there have been situations where we have waited, a long time for a part two of a book. But for me, it's just that I realize that when I get to, if I do a to be continued,
Uh-huh.
when I get to book two, I don't want to sit down and write book two. I just, I realized I would rather just put it all in one book. I would rather give you a cliffhanger for the next series opposed to giving you a cliffhanger for the next book. That's just my way of thinking. Everybody don't think like that, but that's just me. But either way it go, there's still series. It's just a series of standalones.
Okay. That definitely makes sense. Excuse me. What was um the transition like from reader to writer?
It's in the beginning, it wasn't hard. It was easy. I was still able to write and I was still able to enjoy reading.
Mm-hmm.
The further along I got, it became difficult. Reading was when I discovered my love for reading, that was my passion. That was my first love. I could read about 350 books a year. Now that I'm writing more, I have kind of hit a reading slump. Like I don't read like I used to. And
Yeah.
that bothers me because reading was my outlet. That's why it's now the gym. And I think a lot of us experience that where we really can't read like we used to. It's
Used to.
hard. Yeah.
Well, I love absorbing what you're writing, so I don't mean to be selfish, but I'm just taking it as you give it. Um, what was the easiest character that you've written out of your
Out of
catalog?
my catalog.
The easiest.
The girls are probably going to flame me for this, but it was definitely Juice.
That was the
That,
easiest for you?
that was yes, that was the easiest for me to write
Why?
because it was so ghetto and it was so fun, and I loved that book. When I wrote him, I just I said he was gonna be toxic. Like I knew he was gonna be toxic. It was just so much fun writing about that toxic shit. Like it really was. I had listened to a Future song
Okay.
and I was like, oh, I'm about to make him toxic. That was the
Uh-huh.
easiest character for me to write because even though it had there was emotions in it or whatever, but it wasn't like overly emotional, you
You
know.
wrote that in what, one day?
Nah, I think I wrote it in four. I think I wrote it in 4 days.
That sounds so
Mhm.
funny when you say no. I wrote it in four, like
I did.
four.
Mhm. I wrote that in 4 days, and I wrote the first Proceed with Caution Dro in 4 days.
What was the most difficult
The
that you've
most
had to
difficult book
write?
from
The
One
most
Good
difficult
Reason.
character.
Oh, most difficult character was Talitha from One Good Reason.
Okay. I haven't read that one, so I'm gonna put that one down, y'all. That's one good reason, right?
Yeah. That was
Why was she difficult to write?
She there was a lot. She had a lot going on. She had a traumatic childhood and that spilled over into her adulthood, and she didn't get the chance to fully live her life because she became the primary caretaker for her grandmother, and having to deal with trying to take care of her grandmother and then being at odds with her mom and her mom's siblings about the way she cared for her grandmother. She had a lot going on. So she
Mm.
was that was the most difficult character that I've had to write. I actually, when I wrote that book, I cried every day that I sat down and wrote that book.
Okay.
I did. I cried.
Why? That you could just feel her emotions?
It was a lot. It was very heavy for her. Yeah.
Well, you made me do that in Out of Bounds.
That's what everybody said they cried. I mean, the scene that I cried on when they were at the divorce table. That's the part that made me
Ah,
cry. But everybody else was like, "Oh my God, I've
there were
cried like
so
2 3
many.
times."
There were so many parts. I just felt like I was like holding my breath almost the entire book. That's why I'm like, I gotta reread it because I just felt like I can connect to the book.
Hmm.
And so I think again that's probably why, but I could just feel all her pain and all of her just
Hmm.
it was like, woo, baby, ooh, baby. Ooh, ah, you did such a great job with it. Um, on your promotions,
Hmm.
and promoting, where do you feel like that is not? like it's like you're getting like not a pause, but the books just aren't landing because the promotion. Like, is there anything you can do different, or do you think that there's like, what is it that you need, mostly just from us, to help you promote your books the way that you feel they
I
need to be?
I need to get better at promoting.
Hmm.
I do because I don't. But I also writing is my part-time job. I have a full-time job. I
Hmm.
so I work Monday through Friday and I go to the gym 4 days a week. I have a hard time promoting. I have, and it's been like that since I've
Hmm.
started writing. I pay somebody to promote. I need to get better at promoting my work. I
Okay.
do. Because when I write a book, I drop the book after the book has been out for like 2 weeks. To me, it's like out of sight, out of mind. I'm on to something else. And
Right.
I know I can't be like that. I know I can't be like that, but that's just it's been that way for me since I have started writing. I've always said I suck at promoting my work. People ask
Mhm.
me like what my books are about, and I'd be like, I don't know. Like I do. I suck at promoting my work. I suck at talking about my work as well. I've always been like that. I
But
don't know
but
why.
but it's dope. Like,
Mhm.
why?
I
Like,
have no idea. I don't know.
okay.
I don't. I
What
do
is it?
not
Because
know.
you would you consider yourself more like an introvert, where you just don't?
I think I'm like in between because I'm very outgoing. Like I'm a good
Mhm.
time. People that know me know I'm a good time. But when it comes to my books, I'm very sensitive about my
Mhm.
shit. Like I'm very sensitive about it. So I think for me, like promoting and like putting myself out there, it's just like, I don't know. It's just so I don't. I need to get better at it. But I'm not an introvert. I'm in between, but
Mhm.
no. Because again,
Well,
I'm a good time. If anybody that knows me that talks to me, they'll tell you I'm really funny in person. Like I'm
I didn't
I'm
have
a
to
lit
interview you.
person.
I just love to. Maybe because I'm just if I love a book, I want everybody else to love the book.
Hmm.
Like, I want everybody to read the book. Like, I'm gonna interview the author. I'm gonna talk about the book because y'all need to read this book. Like,
Right.
and that's just kind of like the way I feel about it. But again, I understand like you're moving on to the next book,
Hmm.
and you still have more stories that are constantly coming, and so it's just good to understand that. If a reader were just entering to your catalog,
Hmm.
where would you tell them to start for the? Okay, where would you tell them to start? Let's start there.
My family. I would
My
tell them
Family
that.
is the name of the book.
No, it's called my family saga. The
Oh,
first
My
one is
Family.
That's the Way Love Goes. I would tell them to go back and read My Family.
Okay, My Family Saga,
Hmm.
and that's for it to get in.
Uh-huh.
If they
It's the
want to read
Stockley.
something really spicy, where would you tell
Hmm.
them to go?
Really spicy. Let's see. Spicy as in like the sex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, sex. Let's just get there. Yeah, spicy with
Um,
sex.
Probably Hurt Me So Good or Forever by His Side.
Okay. Hold on, write them down.
Okay. Yes, the Stockleys. I do, Char. When people ask where they should start, I tell them to start with My Family.
Um, if you just want to just get hood and ratchet, where do they need to go?
Juice.
I was just about to say that.
Juice.
Grown and sexy.
Possessive Intent or One Good Reason.
Possessive intent.
Hmm.
Okay. Intent. Wait a minute. That's my pen. Hold on. Y'all can, if y'all have questions, y'all drop them in because I'm taking notes. This is my note taking time, so I can make sure that I have all of them. Then I'm gonna go back over for you, so you guys will know. So far, we have. If you were to go into the catalog for the first time, it would be My Family Saga.
Hmm.
If you want
It's called the Stockleys.
the Stockleys, okay.
Hmm.
If you want a spicy book,
Hmm.
just some good sex throughout the book, it's Hurt Me So Good and Forever by Her Side, right?
Whoever by
right?
his side.
By
Hmm.
his side. If you just want to just get just ratchet, just this just hoodie, you're gonna go Juice.
Juice.
Okay. If you want grown and sexy,
Hmm.
you're gonna go to
Possess,
Possessive
possessive
Intent.
intent. Hmm.
And where else?
One good reason. You can't get right here. You can't get in my lap.
Okay. So anything. So you talk about the gym all the time.
Mhm.
I'm assuming. Well, we gonna get a book that just kind of the girl to go to the gym. Like, what's next? What do we have to look forward to?
Um, mhm. I'm writing a 14th book for my family series.
When you
Because I
say
didn't, huh?
14th means that we would have to go all the way back.
It's yes, yes. Yes, you will have to go. I mean, if you're the type of person who wants to know who everybody is, then
Right,
yes,
right.
you would have to go back. If not, then you would be able to start with you would be able to read the last three books because that's where the kids come into play because the person I'm writing about, she is one of the children from the adults.
Okay.
But I didn't give her a happily ever after. I gave everybody else one in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And my readers chewed me up about
Mm-hmm.
that. So that's I'm either gonna drop that in October or November. Then I'm gonna do three Christmas novellas.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the Demons one. I'm gonna do Juice. I'm gonna do Juice
Juice getting a
one.
Christmas story.
Yeah, Juice getting
Ah, Shar, Juice is getting a Christmas story.
Juice is getting a Christmas story. And then I'm gonna give Trap and Kiana from my Proceed with Caution series. I'm gonna give them a Christmas story.
uh, okay.
So that's what I have left for the rest of this year.
For
So
the
I
rest of
got
this year.
yes.
All right. So I know we're gonna get another one from the Atlanta Demons.
That I'm looking to drop that one in
Hey
either
dear.
January or February, but that one is called Fair Catch. Jordan, the guy that I talked about, I mentioned him in Defying the Rules, but he's also the guy that Creed stayed in the bar with that night. His book would be Fair Catch. That'll drop at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Now, once you come off of the Atlanta Demons,
Hmm.
um, is there a topic or even a trope that you may consider Gibson giving us? Like, what's next? Like something different, like, or just something that you just decide, I want to do something very different. Is there anything out there?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea what's. I have no idea. I won't know until I start writing. She said Jordan got to catch the fade. I literally don't know what will come
Mm-hmm.
after that. I have a few ideas. I have a few people have been asking me to do another family saga.
Mm-hmm.
So I might do that, but I'm not sure. I won't know until
Till
I
it just
start
comes to
writing.
you.
Hmm.
Till it comes to you.
Hmm.
Well, I wanted to tell you that I think that you're doing an amazing job with what you're doing. Um, the
Thank you.
power of words are so impactful.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm just gonna say, just embrace the power of your words because it's changing people's lives. And I know for you, it's an art and you're just writing. And I
Hmm.
always say every book's not for everybody, every book is for somebody. And I said that earlier, like the person
Hmm.
that was like, 42-year-olds don't be hooking up with people in bathrooms or whatever. And I'm just like, again, every
Okay.
book is not for everybody, but it's definitely for somebody.
Right.
So, but yeah, your power of your words, I appreciate it. Your kindness for coming on and talking to me today. Um, I love all of this for our community, for this book community. I love all of this for us. And for you giving me access because I know
Hmm.
it's something that you didn't have to do.
Hmm.
So, anything that you want to say? Well, how about any events that you're going to be at?
Hold on. Somebody keeps calling me on Facebook Messenger. I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
That's okay. Any events or where can people find you?
I'll be in
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, I'll be there
I'm
too.
doing Black Romance Book Fest, and
Uh-huh.
then I'm doing in Monique's event in Pensacola. I couldn't
Okay.
remember. I had to get that out. Yeah.
Keep forgetting
Those are the
about
three.
that one.
Yeah. Those are the three that I'm doing
Okay.
next year.
All right. What about doing any if someone wants to get one of your books?
Hmm.
What's the and they want to get their signed book, or how can they do they need to how do they reach you, or how can they
I
get that?
I have a website. It's
Okay.
www.arthurunique.com.
Is that link in your bio?
It's yes. I
Okay.
have a few links in my bio. Because I link my when my new releases drop, I have that in there. But yes, it's linked in my bio. Mhm.
Okay. So we can get that. What about a reading group? Do you have a reading group? A
I have a
Facebook group
reading
that you
group.
did?
Yes, it's called Unique's Pillow Talk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not active in my reading group because again, I work, I be having so much going. I'm more active on my social media pages. Like I tell people all the time, like if you message me, you inbox me and talk to me, I talk back.
Okay.
If I have the time, I talk back. Message me.
All
Yeah.
right. So y'all message her.
They do.
Y'all go ahead and message.
They
She
do
gonna do
all the
it.
time.
I love it. Well, again, I really like the Atlanta Demon series. Out of Bounds really it just became quickly became one of my favorites.
Oh.
And I think you wrote it well. We didn't talk about editing, but your
Mhm.
editing is just done well, and that's
Thank
also
you.
appreciated. And I'm gonna say, keep doing everything that you're doing, and I just wish you all the success that comes with this career, with this Saturday and Sunday career you have, and this, and I know you're down in Mississippi.
Hmm.
You can always, if you're ever interested in doing a riding course at Piney Woods, let me know. I got you set
Listen.
up. I'm just saying,
Oh,
because that is one of the places where I have my first love.
really?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
Pine Woods.
Oh, Piney
Oh, Pine
Woods.
Woods.
Dear Piney Woods is what we say. That was our
Yes.
dear Piney Woods, my Piney Woods.
I love that.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you close us out. Thank you,
Okay.
Shar. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I like to say that the content creators are you guys' promoters.
They are.
So just keep loving on us.
Mhm.
Just when we see you say thank you, or you see us like a post that we post for you guys, it makes us feel good. It makes us want to stay in this lane and
Right.
continue to promote this community as a community continues to grow. So Shar, Unhinged, and all the other people that came on today, thank y'all for supporting Author Unique. And then I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can close us out.
Yeah, thank y'all. Like I do what I do because of y'all and the way y'all receive my work. I love when y'all, inbox me and talk to me about my work. I love all the tags that I get. I don't see them all. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Sometimes I don't get the tag notifications, but believe me, the support does not go unnoticed. I love you guys. If it was not for y'all, I would not continue to do this. So just from me to you, thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. And I love you guys
Oh, thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you. All right, y'all. Next Tuesday, we have Brianna Michelle, and then I'm going to be talking to Tara Ellis. I just figured I'll
Oh,
let y'all know that. So, anyhow, um, that's all I got. Again, thank you so much, Author Unique. You're
thank
very
you.
special, and just stay solid. Stay who you are. Don't let us make you tilt to any directions. Just stay focused on the power of your words.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. Good night, y'all. And again,
Yes.
this is going to be on YouTube as well. So
Okay.
bye bye.
Bye, y'all.